Sechenov just held a press conference in which he completely denied rumors about civilian robots malfunctioning at Facility 3826. The facility is back to full operational capacity, and the red alert
Finally
will be
back
lifted
with
very
us,
soon.
Sonny. You took a real pounding, didn't you? You were pretty close to staying there for good.
Where?
You tell me. How am I supposed to know where you are when you're on the bloody rampage? You were a nice boy when my daughter was around, but ever since she passed away, you do nothing but sulk and fly off the handle at the drop of a hat. Nothing but blood and ripped off heads everywhere. Disgraceful.
What's your daughter got to do with me?
My Katinka. Our Katinka. They played hell with your memory, Sonny.
Lady, what are you talking about?
She was my daughter, but she was your...
Ekaterina Nechaeva, codename Blesna, member of the Argentum Spec Ops squad. So you must be...
Your mother-in-law, you stupid ignoramus. You worked for Sechenov until those Bulgarian terrorists blew you up. Katya didn't make it. Then Sechenov turned you into a monster.
Yeah, I may have heard something about that.
Why are you just sitting there if you already knew? I've been keeping an eye on you ever since. I figured there must be some humanity somewhere in you.
Sorry, lady, but you figured wrong. My past, my present, it's all gone. Wait, where's Larissa?
She's everywhere. You scattered her to the four winds.
Fuck. You got a gun, lady.
Does it look like I don't have one? What would you like?
Anything'll do. I just need to blow my head off.
Great idea. Just blow your own damn brains out and be done
Stand
with
down,
it.
lady!
Then Sechenov can turn everyone into mindless meatbags. First the Soviet Union, then the rest of the world.
Fine, I get it!
If you get it, then get up. I'll give you weapons, lots of them. But only if you promise me you'll put that freak down once and for all. What's the matter? Cat got your tongue?
Listen to your elders, Major. Comrade Sechenov's deeds demand vengeance.
What is this shit, Sergei?
It is me, Zinaida. Chariton Zaharov.
Chariton, you devil! You're alive!
In a sense, an evil wizard turned me into polymer goo.
Wait a fucking minute. Are you telling me you've known Granny Zena this whole time?
Keeping secrets can be very useful, Major. They haven't let us down yet.
Useful to who? You keeping secrets is letting me
Sechenov
down.
must be off his rocker if he's doing this kind of stuff to people. Wait a second. What about Katya, Katinka? Could she still be alive?
It's possible, but in what state? Just look at me. I'm not sure I'm better off, but I don't have hard data at this time.
I'm begging you, Sergei. Sechenov has to die!
Jeez, get off my back already! Crispy critters. What the hell is going on around here? On the one hand, I've got lying, manipulative dicks who claim to be noble avengers. On the other, I've got a Soviet scientist and member of the Academy who wants to enlighten all mankind and use me to get rid of assholes. According to the manipulative dicks, that is.
Okay, and now we're gonna see the other ending.
I'm not laying a finger on Sechenov. I'm out. I've had enough of this game.
What the hell are you? Are you some scared little bitch?
You're making a mistake, Major! Head to Chalamet now!
If you're so worried about your righteous vengeance, you can go there yourselves. This is my decision, not yours. I'm not helping Sechenov anymore. I've done enough harm. But I'm not playing executioner for a member of the Academy, a hero of the Soviet Union, and a scientific genius. I'm sure he knows what he's doing.
He is just using you!
Is that so? Then why aren't I in that limbo, huh? Why aren't you dead? The wizard isn't doing a good job from behind his curtain. By the way, Chariton, I was thinking.
Yes?
You fucked up! This fucking Voskhod polymer extension in my head, it was your invention! You tried to use people long before Collective came into being. Maybe Sechenov wants to knock the bullshit out of people's heads by crushing their spirit, but he isn't turning people into monsters just like me. Or he'd just use Voskhod instead of the thought controller and the shots!
You're making a mistake!
Stop squirming, you asshole! There. That's better.
Security footage shows Major P3 exiting Facility 3826 and fleeing. His destination remains unknown. Major P3 did not provide any information about his destination, but Dr. Sechenov views this infraction as insignificant. Near the exit used by Major P3, a camera recorded an unidentified object made of black polymer. Its design is unknown. Furthermore, due to its small size, the polymer object in question could not be further analyzed in the footage.
Yep. So that's what I thought. It was just gonna be the instant ending of the game right there when we did the other ending. And honestly, that was a much better ending than what happens in the Twins ending. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and go to the main screen. I'll tell you what my thoughts were for the whole game. Okay, now that we've seen both endings to Atomic Heart, what do I think about the game overall? So let me go ahead and say, Munfish, for your first ever game, being a full retail game, you guys did surprisingly good. Like, way better than I think anyone would have thought you would have done. To the point of where I'm excited for what you do next after this, and anyone at the studio that put their own blood, sweat, tears, and soul into this game, give yourselves a pat on the back, because you guys did way better than anyone probably would have ever thought you could have do. Now, all of that said, I don't love this game. I like it. It's like a 7 out of 10 for me, but I do have some issues with it. One, the overworld in this game was way too big and way too pointless for the kind of story they were telling. Like, it really felt like the game did not need a hub area for you to just fight robots in while you're getting to the next story objective, and there was really nothing to do other than being attacked by robots while you got to each story bit and scavenging materials. To the point of where that really grinded on me as the game continued to go on and on and on and on and on and on. And then the testing grounds that are basically your side objectives, they're nice that they're not mandatory, but they're pretty heavily encouraged because that's where you get the real upgrades for your kit. And I honestly felt like the ones I played were more of a hindrance than a help because they grinded the game to a halt whenever I got to them. And this isn't me shitting on puzzles. I love puzzles in games. I love the puzzles in Castlevania Lords of Shadow 1 and 2, I love the Portal games, and I was a massive fan of Resident Evil and still am, and the older games were like 40% puzzle. So puzzles really aren't an issue for me. It just, these felt like more hobbled together distractions of your time rather than actually intricately crafted tests of your intellect, was how I felt about the puzzles. So I think that's where the game really struggles, was that it was too big and too far-reaching for what it really needed to be in scope. Had this game been just a bit smaller, bit more focused, it probably would have knocked out the park. And then while I do love the story and its subtones of the USSR, crony capitalism, using society as puppets for your alternative means, quite literally considering he was building a hive mind to take over society, it all gets a little cartoony after a certain point, and you do have to detach yourself for that, but it's a game about an alternate 1950s where robots are murdering everyone and the Soviet Union's building a neural hive mind. That set of mental detachment already exists from the beginning. I'm just saying it doesn't really, like, pull itself to a more focused point to develop the world more. It just kind of exists for the sake of this story at the base level and gets too cartoony, was the only issue that it has. So the world has potential, but they didn't really focus on it. They kind of just focus on what Soviet society did to its people and how much they hated the Americans with the overture of robots being controlled by a neural hive mind. So good storytelling, just really cartoony. And then the endings. I'm going to say it right now, I really do feel like the Runaway ending was very undercooked, despite the fact that I think it's the better ending. And that should say a lot about my opinions with this game. The ending that you have to put more work into feels like more of a waste of your time and less of a story payoff than the Runaway ending to me, which is a problem. both endings exist, and neither ending is being dropped, considering that both endings are getting 2 DLCs. But all of that being said, my personal choice is the Runaway ending. I feel like that makes more sense for Sergei's character than it does to go in and fight Sechenov, because he was struggling so hard to come to terms with the fact that Sechenov could be evil, even up until the end of the game. And that's where the game ultimately sits for me. It's a very solid 7 out of 10. I love its subtones, its plot, its combat, and what it has going for it. It just got too big and too unfocused for its own good. And maybe down the road I'll play the DLC, but right now I don't have the time to focus on it, as I need to get into Amnesia the Bunker, Control, and other things in my backlog for the channel. But with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this series. Give Mundfish all the support in the world, because they did a good job for their first game, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.
Yeah.